Hello, chess lovers, this is Coach Daniel Megan, and today I want to share with you the game between Magnus Carlsen and Liren. This game was played only a few days ago as part of the Tour Finals of Chess 24. Right now, Magnus went to the finals against Hikaru Nakamura for the total prize of $140,000, which is really great price. My bet is on Magnus for this match. But let's see the game between Magnus and Liren. It was a quite interesting game, and I think right from the beginning, Ding chose not the best lines of opening for the black sides here. And you can see just from the beginning, immediately from the beginning, that Magnus got the initiative and black was too slow. So let's jump into the game and understand exactly what is the meaning of all of this. So d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5, bishop f4, c5, e3, e6, c3. Now this structure is quite normal, nothing too special about this one. The black target right now is to exchange the bishops, the dark square's bishops, just because his bishop will be not really active in this game, and the white dark square bishop will be really active in this game. And as you can see, Magnus immediately went for the center of the board with bishop f4 and the beautiful structure of the pawns. Now in this position, bishop d6 is really common move and logical move to exchange these bishops just from the same very reason I just said. After knight b to d2, most of the players will think if black just will capture on f4, it actually make white some troubles with the double pawns on the f line. But what is the compromise here? After these double pawns on the f-file, white has a significant control on the center of the board. For example, we can just take a look on the square e5 and see that white has at least 3 pieces to control this board: d4 pawn, f4, and the knight on f3. Now, after bishop d3, just some usual development with the idea to put an eye on h7, castling on the king side, and some development with knight e5 and the other knight comes to f3, you can see that white has very easy plan to attack, very easy plan to take a progress in this game. In the other end, black has no plan at all. His fight for the center already lost because he took on f4 and he actually gave up the dark square bishop fight on the e5 square, and he just manage to give the white the opportunity to gain some more control in the center with the move e3 takes on f4. So we will go back a little bit here and we will take a look at the move that Ding chose in this game. He chose to go for the line with c takes on d4. Now this is a very unique line, and you will see just in a few moves how unique is this line, because of the various of exchanges in this game. In this line specifically, you will see that this pawn on d4 just takes on e3 and then on d2, and from the other end the bishop on f4, the white dark square bishop, will take on d6 and then we'll move on to a3 and will actually stand there to prevent the black from castling and any more development. So I think this is the first mistake of Ding in this game. I think he went for a line that gave Magnus really easy plan during the game, easy plan to get initiative and to attack and to be the aggressor and actually to be the dominant player of this match. And you don't want to do it, especially not against Magnus, because he will know how to take advantage about this kind of positions. So I think better line to go at this position, especially against a player like Magnus, is just to go very simple with the move castling and bishop d3, the usual development, knight at c6, and go more about the positional plan than the tactical plans. Like you will see later in the game that Magnus actually got more tactics opportunities, and it was very easy to understand where to put and allocate each and every piece of the board, comparing to this position, to this line, where you really should develop a plan from the scratch. You are not really sure how you are going to develop the pieces. Maybe you will play knight e5, maybe you will go with the g4 plan, and maybe you will just make it simple and castle on the king side. So here I think Ding had much more chances to play this position against Magnus. So he chose the move c takes on d4, and after the very special line bishop takes on d6, we reach out to this position. And here I think most of you will agree with me that white absolutely love this position. You cannot see anything that black has to initiate to get the domination on this position. Of course, white will play on the king side attack with moves like queen g5, bishop d3, the usual moves. And I didn't really understand why Ding went for this line. I have to be honest with you, I think it was a bad choice for him, and this is why he got punished. And even here, after some very regular move like knight c6, white goes immediately with queen g5, and black started to feel the weaknesses of his position, while white has the pair of bishops. And you know, right now after rook g8, if white has some plans for artificial castling, now he cannot castle at all on the king side, and if you will castle on the queen side like happened in the game, you will see it didn't go very well. So bishop d3, h6, queen e3, queen b6. Of course, black is trying to exchange the queens right now because he has no plans. The white queen is really strong, and the black kings is just inactive. So queen e2, of course, white avoid this exchange. Bishop d7, castle on the king side, nothing to afraid of. You will see in the game that black is actually really slow. There is no attack on the king side. Still black didn't play the move g5. It will take him very long time to play g5, h5, g4, h4. I mean really long time. And meanwhile, white will go very simple on the queen side attack, and you will see it will be very easy for him to gain control on this game and to get a decisive advantage. So after castling on the queen sides, b4 immediately, put some pressure on the queen side of the black. King b8. Now here I analyzed this game using Stockfish, of course, and I tried to find few ideas. So the main idea that I looked for was the move e5. It gave away the pawn on e5 immediately, and you can see after this exchange, it looks like the position still better for white. But actually, after few development moves, you will see that e5 move actually give the black the opportunity to start and getting control in the game and get his pieces actives. For example, the first move, rook g to e8. Now the rook was really blind rook on g8. He didn't do anything, and now on e8 he controlled the open line, the e open line, and tempo on the queen. So immediately you can see there is some ideas behind the giveaway the e pawn. So queen d4, if white wants to go for the exchange of queens, so you will see this endgame actually, even though white has the pair of bishop and even though black gave away one of his pawns, still black starting to be really active, and this position is quite equal. After the exchange of the queens, a6 with the idea to play b5 and to blunder this bishop on a3, and later in the game to put some pressure on b4. So here, after a few analyses, I've realized the best move for white to play here is actually b5, and to give away back one of the pawns, and then you can see it's going for very good line for the black pieces, for the black side, to my opinion. After the exchange of bishops, white has no longer the pair of bishops, and after rook b1, rook e4, rook c1 check, king b8, and bishop c5, white tries to hold the position, to hold the advantage, to take on b5 and not to give away any more pawns, just to gain back the advantage and try to develop some attack on the queen side. But actually after rook e2, a3, again, to defend on the pawn on the a file, and knight e4. This position is quite equal, and the black pieces are really active now, and there is some counter attack for the black sides. And this line, to my opinion, is much better than what happened in the game, because now black is playing chess. And in the game, if you asked me, Ding didn't play chess. Magnus absolutely dominated the game, and Ding played without any idea, and this is why he made few mistakes that are really easy to do, because when you are not playing with a plan, you will do the mistakes, and it will be very hard and actually impossible for you to play this game. So let's see what happened in the game. So after king b8, okay, it's a natural move by Ding, and I can understand, but you can realize already now that Ding is playing without a really significant plan, and he's just going to the survival mode, trying to hold the position, and this is something I don't like to do. As the chess player I am, I like to be the aggressor, I like to be the dominator, and if I have no choice, I will go all in. I really don't want to be in the survival mode and just to hold the position, especially not against Magnus Carlsen, because it's just impossible. So b5, knight a5, and you can see it's very easy for Magnus to find the right moves here. After knight e5, just continue to develop through the center to the queen side, where is the black king, and just develop the attack. Rook b1, rook c1, very natural move. Bishop e8, again, black has no plan, it's just in survival mode. He defends on few pieces, and even though if you will turn on the engine at the moment, it will show you it's okay for black. It's not such a bad position. It's even not that far from being an equal position. We have to remember, these two players are human, and when a human being is playing without a plan, he has no chance to survive this game, because especially against a player like Magnus, who is the world championship, one of the best players of all times. I am more of Kasparov's friend, but most of the chess players will say that Magnus is the best player of all times. But you know, even if you would play against international master, FIDE master, these kind of levels, you still have no initiative, no plan, and it will be very easy for a high skilled level chess player to find the right moves here to continue the initiative and just put more and more pressure on you until you will break down to pieces. So bishop b4, preparing a4, some pressure on the a5 knight, rook c8. It's inaccurate move. Better moves were knight d7 or king a8. For example, after knight d7, c4, the computer suggests the idea of knight c5, and here white has to find bishop h7, rook h8, and queen e3 to put some more pressure on the knight on c5. Now, it's not really easy to find, you know, it's very easy to look on the computer, to analyze it with Stockfish, and then find these kind of lines, but at least in the game, if Ding was choosing this kind of lines, he had the opportunity that Magnus will mislook of a few ideas, you know, because here it's starting to get a little bit harder to find the right lines and the right moves. For example, bishop h7, rook h8 is the most accurate line, but it's very hard to see it on the board, to my opinion. Now, rook c8 is not really accurate because it just gives white again the time to develop and to prepare his plans. Now, as you can see, the race here, usually when we have two counter casting, one is going for the king side, one is going for the queen side, right? One is on the right side of the, and the other one is on the left side of the board. So you have a race. Who is going to reach out to the other king, to the opponent king first? But here the race is really one-side race, because the only one is going to reach out for either king is the white. Magnus is the only one who's going with a4, rook b1, rook c1, c4, and as you can see, black is really slow with his counter-attack. There is no counter-attack at all, actually. There is no move like g5, h5, g4, h4, really slow, and it's just meaningless to play this kind of moves. So a4, just continue the same old plan. And here we have two options. The option that was in the game, it was knight e4. This is really the mistake that broke down Ding to pieces. A better move was king a8 and just, again, sit and wait, which I'm sure Magnus would have won just a little bit more time, but he would have won eventually. But this move, king a8, is a little bit more accurate because it just sits and wait and prepares some defenses idea, like for example after c4, take, and knight d5, and black just really trying to survive this position, to hold this position. So after knight e4, it was really easy for Magnus to just completely take advantage right now, a significant advantage, and to win this position. After this exchange, you're already a pawn up, you have the initiative, and you are 2,881 FIDE rating player. So it will be easy for you to win this game, unless you are going to do some very, very unusual blunder. There is no chance for your opponent at the moment, even if your opponent is Ding. So after f6, queen h7, going immediately for the weakness of the rook on g8 and this pawn structure on the right side of the board for the black pieces. Knight go to b3. Of course, this rook cannot go, for example, to f8 because we have bishop takes on f8, and this bishop, look on this bishop on e8, it just really has doesn't have any good moves. I mean, if the bishop is leaving this diagonal, for example, for bishop to h5, so white will play immediately the fork on the queen and the king, knight d7 check. Now, if this bishop wants to move to other place just to connect the rooks, there is no good move for him. Not to d7, c6, everything blocked for him. So this position already lost for black, and I think Ding probably knew this position was lost. He continued just a few more moves. Knight b3, trying to take back some of the some material, but after queen takes, full rook on g8, and after the move knight takes on a1, Magnus did the best thing a chess player needs to do, and he immediately took advantage and simplified the position for a winning simple endgame with the move queen takes on e8. Now, why is this move is so important? We have to understand as chess players, as long as we have the advantage, we want to simplify the position. For example, sometimes you will find yourself with a lot of materials in advantage, but it's better to give away back some of the material just to go for a simple endgame and win the game. And here, Magnus didn't even give away any materials, because after queen takes on e8, rook take, check, king goes anywhere, for example to c7, and after I take the queen back, let's say he took the knight back, and I still captured the knight on a1, and I still have a piece up. So it was a very smart move by Magnus, very easy move for a player in this level. I think any player from the rating of 2000 and above would easily find queen takes on e8, but it's really important for me to show you and to explain you the idea behind the simplification of the position. We have to simplify the position even if we give away one pawn back, even if you give away some of the material that you gain during the game back, but it will be much easier to win. This is what you're going to do. You need to simplify the position. So please continue and seek for this kind of moves like queen takes on e8. This is just brilliant moves, and it make it much more easy for you to win the game. Watch out and don't go to this method of trying to gain and trying to guard all the advantage that you already have gained during the game, because this is the most dangerous position to play. Your opponent is the underdog right now. He is going all in. He doesn't care to give away more and more pieces just to get the initiative. And if you will try to hold each and every material, each and every piece or pawn that you won during the game, that you gained during the game, you can find yourself both in time pressure, and second, you will find yourself inactive in the game. and your opponent will get a lot of initiative, and sometimes you will get punished for doing so. So my suggestion, you have a significant material advantage, go for the simplification and try to find a way to go for a simple endgame and just win the game easily. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to mention that we launched our new website, danielmchess.com. You will find there some much more materials and videos, and I will recommend you to go and visit the website. I will put the link in the first comment here on this video, and more videos are coming up, so keep follow the channel.